friends, it's Miss Gina. It's time for Story and Craft. I'm so glad you joined me today. And I have a great book to share with you. But before we get started, I wanted to tell you something. So most of the books that we have in Story and Craft are imaginary stories. They aren't true, they sure are fun, but they're just stories. They are called fiction. But today's book is a true story. It's called nonfiction. And so I wanted to let you know before we get started that this story is absolutely true. And this book is a brand new book. It was just published this year in 2020. So I'm super excited to share it with you. Let's get started. The name of our book is The Cat Man of Aleppo. Aleppo is a city in Syria. I'm going to talk to you more about that in just a minute. But this book was written by Irene Latham and Karim Shamsi-Basha. It was illustrated by Yuko Shimizu and published by G.P. Putnam's Sons. So Aleppo is a place in Syria. Syria is a long ways away from us, but we're going to find out all about Aleppo and one man named Allah who lives there. So, Allah loves his city of Aleppo. He loves its narrow alleys and covered bazaars selling pistachios and jasmine soap and green za'atar. He loves the boiled corn and dried figs offered on the street. Most of all, he loves the people of Aleppo. They are gentle, polite, and loving, like him. Did you hear a word in that you didn't know? Yeah, me too. So remember, this is a story about Aleppo. And Aleppo is a place in Syria. So we're going to get to hear words that we don't know. They are describing food and places and things in Aleppo. And you heard that the name of the man, right? His name is Allah. And Allah, if we translated that into English, would be our name, Alan. So Allah lives in Aleppo. Let's find out more about him. Even when war comes to Aleppo, Allah doesn't flee like so many other. Can you see in the window? There's some smoke, and it looks like he's sad. It's because there's a war going on. Allah continues his work as an ambulance driver. He swerves through the rubbled streets and carries the wounded to safety. He comforts and holds them. Allah has a big heart. Do you see him carrying somebody? Yeah. Allah's work is important, but he misses his loved ones. Where are they now? Are they safe? He misses the way things used to be before the war. Aleppo's city center no longer echoes with the rich, exciting sounds of copper pot pounding and traditional sword sharpening. His neighborhood is empty. It doesn't look like a very happy place. But don't be too sad. This story is going to have a great ending. Except for the many cats left behind. So Aleppo is empty except for cats. The abandoned cats roam crumpled buildings and prowl filthy alleyways looking for food. Their homes have been destroyed. And now no one is left to love them and stroke their backs. No one is there to give them food and water. The cat's lonely, confused faces remind Allah of the loved ones he has lost. So many goodbyes. So many people he hasn't been able to help. So many days he feels lonely and confused too. Do you see him, and do you see the cats? On his way home from work, Ella stops the ambulance. 2 cats call to him from the branches of an ancient olive tree. 3 more peek from a Syrian juniper tree. Ella's big heart swells with love for them. Bombs may still fall, and his loved ones may never come back to Aleppo, but there is something he can do. He can look after the cats. Do you see the cats up in the tree? After his shift the next day, Allah uses the little money he has to buy fresh meat. When he unwraps the meat, the cats raise their heads and sniff the air. They are extra hungry. Tai ata ata, Allah calls. Here, kitty kitty. A dozen cats rush towards him, their tails held high. He gives them bits of meat and talks softly to them. The cats chew and purr and chew. Soon their bellies are full, and so is Allah's heart. He smiles and pets the cats, and they love him back. Allah brings meat and water for the cats every day. A dozen turns into 20, and 20 turns into 50. He can no longer care for the cats alone. I need a place to keep them safe. Allah tells his remaining neighbors, together we can save them all. And when I show you this next picture, look for all the cats. So many cats. Word spreads and volunteers arrive. Donations pour in from many different countries. Everyone wants to help the cats of Aleppo. Allah collects enough money to buy a building with shaded courtyard. He names the sanctuary House of Cats Ernesto, in memory of a friend's beloved cat. Soon cats are everywhere. Orange cats, striped cats, white cats, gray cats, and black cats. For every cat, there's a dish of food and a bowl of water. Now, when people must leave Aleppo, they bring their cats to Allah before they go. So many cats. Hope and love fill people's hearts when they learn about the sanctuary's success, and they send more money. With so much support, Allah is able to rescue other animals too. So in this next picture, see if you can see other cats and other animals too. I see a dog, and I see chickens, and I even see a lamb. He builds a playground for the children still living in Aleppo. He digs a well so everyone can have fresh water. He distributes fruit, ma'amul, and barazak cookies to the people he meets. They look happy, don't they? Allah's big heart is so happy. All he did was love the cats, and that love multiplied and multiplied again. He still misses his loved ones and the way Aleppo used to be before the war. But now Allah is known around the world as the Cat Man of Aleppo. Allah loves his city of Aleppo. He hopes one day soon its bazaars will be selling pistachios and jasmine soap, and he can enjoy eating boiled corn and dried figs. Meanwhile, he loves the sanctuary's courtyard filled with fat, sleepy-eyed cats. There's no place he'd rather be. He does look happy, doesn't he? And that's the end of our story, The Cat Man of Aleppo. Remember, that's a nonfiction book. It's true. So what about some fun crafts? Well, I have some interesting crafts for you. So our book was all about Allah taking care of cats. So I thought I would make some crafts for us, and you can do these at home, about taking care of pets. So the first thing I have to show you is a pet home. So I made this, and I put some windows in my pet home. Do you recognize this? It's a tissue box, but I painted it and I put windows in it. And if you have some older kids in your family, maybe they could even cut the windows out. Make sure though that somebody responsible is watching you if you're going to be cutting out windows or doors. And the other thing that I did was I made myself a pet rock. So I kind of made it to look like a cat, but you could make your pet rock look like anything. And so I now have a home for my pet rock. The other thing that I did was I looked up how I should take care of pets. And I came across this wonderful handout. And it's from the American Veterinary Medical Association. And it gives me hints about how to take care of pets. And if you would like to have one of these, I would love to send you one. It's just a brochure, but it has a bunch of fun pages, including some coloring sheets. So if you would like one, send me an email at frcinfo@pvschools.net and say, I would like to have the handout on taking care of a pet, and I will send it to you right away. So you could do that. The other thing that you could do is you could make a drawing of a pet. And so I had some of my friends make some drawings of cats. So here's one. And here's another one. And if you would like to share them, you can send those to me as well at frcinfo@pvschools.net. And I'm going to put together a video of all of the pictures of cats. And the reason why is I have a really fun book that's also about cats to share with you. And I thought what would make it super fun is if we illustrated it ourselves. So that's my crafts for this story, the nonfiction book, The Cat Man of Aleppo. I hope you had fun, and I will see you next time for Story and Crafts. For now, bye-bye.